So admittedly, I was a bit broken up about the Minnesota Vikings losing Andre Patterson to the Giants, but the best part of breaking up is finding someone new you can't get enough of. And Chris Rumph, come on down. You're the next defensive line coach for the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Wilson, go. Vikings hiring former Bears and Texans, University of Texas, Florida, Tennessee, defensive line coach Chris Rumph as their defensive line coach, according to league sources. And Chris Rumph, whose son, Chris Rumph II, was a fourth-round pick by the Chargers in 2021, had a great career at Duke. Now, if son wanted to come along, perhaps maybe we interest you in our finest seventh-round picks. Yeah, why not? But let's talk about the new Vikings defensive line coach today. So background, Chris Rumph, he played outside linebacker at South Carolina University, powerful Gamecocks, got that connection with DJ Wanham revved up, ready to go. And he coached in college predominantly, got to start at his alma mater as a grad assistant, and then had stops at Clemson, Alabama, Texas, Florida, and Tennessee. Perhaps you've heard of them in the college football landscape. Jumped in the NFL in 2020 as the Texans outside linebacker coach and was the Bears D-line coach in 2021. And so just putting together all the tea leaves and conspiracy theory, man. So Ed Donatel always coached the 3-4. And Chris Rumph, even though he's the D-line coach, he has extensive experience coaching outside linebackers, including him playing outside linebacker himself in college. So the Vikings are 100% moving to a 3-4. And yes, I do think Danielle Hunter would thrive as a stand-up edge rusher. Put him in the TJ Watt role. Put him in the Khalil Mack role. He can do that. Absolutely. And also, you can flex him in. Like, he would be strong enough to play 3-4 defensive end, play in that 5-tech spot. He did it at LSU. So I'm absolutely down for it, man. And notable players that Chris Rumph has coached: Ashawn Robinson back in the day, Hassan Ridgeway at Texas, Jonathan Bullard was a bully at Florida. And again, some of these guys didn't go on to big-time NFL success, but they were phenomenal college players, man. Exactly. As well as his time with the Texans. He worked with J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless and Charles Omenihu, even though Watt and Omenihu were more on the D-line. But, of course, that's his complete sphere of influence and coaching. Also with the Bears last year, Akeem Hicks, who is a free agent, by the way. Do we cut Michael Pierce and use the savings to go after Akeem Hicks? That'd be sexy, man. Sexy. Also, I include Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack because his experience as an outside linebacker coach, ipso facto, blah, blah, blah. It's good to go there. Also, so fun fact, Sean Desai had crossover last year with Chris Rumph in Chicago, as well as had some crossover with Ed Donatel in previous seasons in Chicago. So landing Sean Desai, who like we said, was potentially even considered for the Vikings DC job, getting him in as DB coach, whew, that'd be, man. That would be a beautiful way to round out the coaching staff. But the Vikings defensive line, we made the case last year that the Vikings had the deepest D-line in the league, and it held up. Because even though they're ravaged by injuries, and even though they're missing Pierce for a long stretch, they lost Danielle Hunter, as well as Everson Griffin, missed some games, and they still were second in the league with 51 sacks, predominantly from the D-line. So Andre Patterson and his crew, they still got after it. So I think Chris Rumph walks into a very good situation, especially since the Vikings, I mean, edge rusher could be a pretty high priority in this draft, even though Danielle could be back, preferably on an extension or rework deal. DJ Wanham, all of a sudden fired up. Wanham would thrive as a stand-up outside linebacker, where he did that at South Carolina, where predominantly he was standing up, as well as he's played a couple of stand-up snaps here with the Vikings. I think that he would thrive in the new 3-4 scheme. Kenny Willekes, he's got that bull rusher mentality. He could play 5-tech. Patrick Jones, same thing. Janaris Robinson played a stand-up outside linebacker at Florida State. Well, that was the problem with Janaris at Florida State, because they kept changing schemes. So he was stand-up, sit down, stand up, hand in the dirt, whatever. Right? TBD what happens with Everson. I don't think they bring Tayshaun Bauer back. And then you got Pierce on the inside if you don't cut him. You got Diesel Dalvin Thompson, who could play true nose tackle or at the 5-tech spot. Armand Watts was a beast last year. Jumping James Litch, who's his best position probably is that 5-tech spot. It was at Baylor, as well as Jalen Twyman getting after Jordan Scott, TJ Smith. Maybe they bring back Sheldon Richardson, but probably not. But yeah, the cupboard is not bare. So Chris Rumph has a lot to work with, and overall, even though, like I said, still sad about Andre Patterson leaving, Chris Rumph, come on, man, let's go, baby. Bring your son too. Let's go. That's nepotism I can get behind, man, because Chris Rumph II is a talented player. But your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings hiring Chris Rumph as a new defensive line coach to replace Andre Patterson. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.